Hello Taurus friends, I'm Annie Botticelli and welcome to my Taurus October 2025 Astrology Horoscope Forecast. I'm calling the theme of this month for Taurus, Kissed by a Goddess, and I will go into the reasons why. We've got two star goddesses that are making amazing aspects, bringing wonderful opportunities for Taurus. We'll get into that. Plus we've got a full supermoon in Aries. We'll talk about how that may affect Taurus and anything else I think that you need to know to best make the use of the starry possibilities and divert around any challenges. This is for you if Taurus is your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or any other Taurus placement you're listening for. What I'm going to talk about here is part of your astrological picture. Very late degree Taurus friends, so birthdays like May 15th through the rest of the sign, or 23 degree Taurus placements through the rest of the sign. I suggest you additionally listen to my Gemini report, as you Taurani friends will benefit from both readings. Okay, so I'm going to get right into the points that support my theme for this month for you, but do know that there's so much more than these. They're just some highlights that I thought would be fun to mention that you would like to know about. The first thing is that we've got Venus moving through fellow Earth sign in Virgo, and that is making the best possible angle for Taurus, bringing the possibility of having the best possible outcomes from our beautiful Venus transit. Venus rules love and relationships and beauty and aesthetics and money and finances. And when you've got that, all of that, moving in a very special, most perfect, harmonious angle, not only speaking the same language of the elements, but also in the sacred geometrical format, then you know that the outcomes can be wonderful. So what kind of things can we see happen when you're kissed by Venus at this time? Love can deepen as it moves. Venus, the ruler of love and romance, moves through your house of romance. Love can deepen. If you are looking to have a baby, this transit can enhance fertility. If you're not looking to have a baby, this transit can still enhance fertility. So just something to be aware of. Creative projects can flourish when Venus meets this attention to detail moving through Virgo and blending with the fiery Leo that is the ruler of the fifth house. This is blessing romance and play and self-expression with practicality and devotion. So the details that are needed to make your dreams happen, your bucket list, your family dreams, your relationship dreams. The detail-orientedness of Virgo is now coming together with Venus, the ruler of all of these different things that we shared, combining with this passion and this fire for hopefully the best outcomes for you. So that's really, really exciting. Now, at the same time, so while we're on this, Venus moving through here can help you monetize your creative efforts, can help you have support for your creativity, and can give you money to do the things that you've always wanted to do. We've got until October 21st when the stars are still moving forward from the perspective of the personal planets, Mercury, Venus, Mars. Not to say that you can't travel or do things after that, but you have from August 26th through October 21st when you are having an easier time planning for the future or doing something big that involves communication or travel. So, the first 3 weeks of the month here are, our last big open window where we don't have to deal with the ruckus from the retrogrades. So, if you've got to invest something in your creativity, if you have to invest something in fertility, if you have to invest in your relationship, or if you want to try new things, if you're trying to meet the love of your life and you want to meet new people, there's a lot of great energy for that, especially in the first 3 weeks. If you want to enhance your relationship with the person that you're with, then you may want to invest resources and time and money or whatever in re-engaging in wonderful ways. All right, so all of this is happening. It's very exciting. I could probably go on about this, but we do have other things to talk about. While we're on the topic of being kissed by a goddess, I want to also talk about Hygeia. Hygeia is moving through Cancer, and that is for Taurus, the third house. She's the goddess of health and holistic well-being. And in this placement, words and writing and teaching can become healing channels. So if you have discovered your connection to the divine through, through spiritual practices or through your words or your voice, Taurus rules the throat. Sometimes there's an affinity here for singing voices or using of the voice or speaking for the purposes of healing. This could also come in the form of conversations with siblings or neighbors or other people, other relatives, being nurturing and repairing them. Daily rituals around breath and hydration and emotional expression and speaking from the heart being added into, your home and family and what you do every day. If you have a rift with someone in your life, this beautiful angle that Hygeia is making to your Taurus placement may be able to help support healing. And Jupiter is also there. They're not close together just yet, but they are still going through Cancer, both making a great angle for Taurus and expanding your communication. So while Hygeia is bringing these healing opportunities, Jupiter is bringing these expansion opportunities. And so you may see both of these things going on at the same time. Maybe you want to talk to your cousin about a creative project that you have that could earn money. So you can see these are just some ways that we could string together all of these possibilities at this time. Okay, so the planetary aspects and events always bring invitations that we can accept or decline. And the full supermoon in Aries is going to be a very big invitation. So let's talk about some of these possibilities and a little bit of background. So we have Chiron, Eris, Neptune, and even though Saturn has dipped back into Pisces temporarily, it's still close enough to Aries to also be influencing there. So we have all of those outer planets in a very long-term way. Some of them new, like Neptune and Saturn. Some of them they've been a while, like Eris, and then Chiron, not as long as Eris, but still there. All of these are activating storylines of autonomy, independence, individuality, vibrant health, focus on what you need to be healthy. And all of this is moving through the house of mental wellness and emotional wellness of the 12th house, also spiritual wellness for Taurus. Okay, so the 12th house is personal to Taurus. The Aries transits, the autonomy, the independence, all of that is true for all signs. But the fact that they're moving through the Taurus 12th house makes this a very spiritual, emotional, healing-focused, long-term venture here. Ceres is there in a shorter amount of time, for a shorter amount of time. And then we've got October 6th, the entrance of this kind of explosive, in a way, fiery baby of the zodiac, Aries, full supermoon, which means that the moon is closer to the earth. In many cases, it can look bigger. Its gravitational effects can be stronger. And something is coming out of the hidden space. This 12th house is the hidden space. It's the unconscious mind. It's what drives you in a deep way. It's the connectedness to all things. It's ancestral garbage or gold. It's your DNA. It's your soul's rebirth, if you believe in that, and your soul's story. So all of this is getting activated. And usually this is an unconscious space coming in through dream time or work with the subconscious or psychological practices. But at the full moon, and the days are on the 6th, and really, let's just put this in perspective here. A full moon, we usually feel 2 to 3 days before and after. A super moon, we often can feel a lot longer than that. So for the whole first 10 days of the month, we're going to have, bam, super moon, elucidating, bringing something out of a hidden space, bringing out secrets, bringing out gold, bringing out garbage, bringing out fears, bringing out opportunities. And all of this is an invitation to release these fears and limitations that have lived in the shadows, to break free from the old cycles of self-sabotage. There are opportunities and invitations for deep rest and meditation and dream work, bringing clarity, for synchronicity to be enlivened. If you're not completely focused on synchronicity as the language of spirit, you will have, in the short term, in October, especially the first 10 days, opportunities to have that language become very abundantly clear to you. Like you're questioning in the car, should I move? And then a truck pushes in front of you and it says, time to move on the back, like it's a moving truck or something. It's called a waking dream, So these types of synchronicities in the long term are building as a norm for Taurus. In the short term, they're bam, in your face. It's a very cleansing moon, clearing this hidden room of the psyche and the goddesses are kissing you awake. Okay, so it's like you've got this very kind of assertive energy coming out, and then this softness that's bringing, application to whatever lessons may be coming up here. You may be ready to step away from an addiction. You may be ready to confront, a deeper picture of a root cause of something that's happening in your life. This would be an amazing time for psychotherapy, NLP, EFT, EMDR. These are all resources you can look into. EFT in particular is something that there's a ton of free stuff. If you can't afford, to go do some of this other work, EFT could be helpful, because there are so many free resources. Now, of course, if you are in a serious situation, you will need the professional help, and, do-it-yourself stuff may not do, and, you have to assess that. And if you're in a situation like that, this full moon could bring clarity about that and could bring opportunities for you to actually take action on that. So it will be pretty intense, but it can definitely bring insights and breakthroughs where you realize something that maybe was there all along that you had no idea, and it just bubbled out of the unconscious, and wow, there it is. All right, so this is going to be a very elucidating time. Okay, so what else do we have going on? We've got the Sun, Mercury, the new moon on October 21st. That 21st date is pretty important this month. And then we've got Venus also moving into Libra later in the month, all highlighting relationships, people being very important coming up, being helpful to you. Sixth house being your day-to-day work, pets, animals, your daily systems, and your health. So the Aries energies may be bringing up health things. The sixth house energies may be bringing up health things. And the Libra energies can give you the support that you may need to find the solutions to any health issues you have coming up. If you want to start some wonderful new health routines, you can do that anytime, but you've got extra long-term commitment energy for the first 3 weeks of October. If you miss that opportunity, don't worry. You can go into experimentation of the retrogrades. October 21st to the middle of December is a great time to experiment. It's a little bit easier to commit to something longer term in the first several weeks. But when we get to the last 10 days of the month, short-term contracts or short-term flexible arrangements may be better because you're not seeing clearly, and things that happen now may need a little bit more flow and flexibility. The first 3 weeks of the month are amazing times to do your big things. The tides are going out. Okay, so if you've listened to my tidal analogy, you'll know that when the personal planets, Mercury, Venus, Mars, are going direct and there are no shadow periods before and after those transits occurring, that I call that the astrological tides going out. And so the first 3 weeks of the month, you can put all those boats afloat and have the tides carry them far and wide. Your big launches, your big moves, your big decisions, your big purchases, your big sales have extra oomph during that time. And anything that you do new in that time has a birth date with those clear stars. Now, as we hit October 21st, that's when the tides start to come in, and they spend the next several weeks getting into the actual retrograde, then a few weeks in the actual retrograde, then the post-shadow transit lasting until around mid-December. And that's when we want to become the earthworm, or become the person who is standing on the shore waiting for the waves to bring us stuff that we deal with rather than trying to conjure or push things out. The earthworm analogy for the retrograde is one I always bring up because earthworms push soil from their front end out their back end as a constant. This is what earthworms do. And so we, as the earthworm in the retrograde, are going back over other things in our lives that need to be finely ground and form into fertile ground for future growth. All right, so we might have to go back over something, edit it, repair it, adjust it, reconsider it. The retrogrades have all the prefixes of redo, reconsider, revamp, rest. Yeah, so you'll feel that the more you tune into that subtle shift, you'll start to notice that the tides are going in. Things will become harder to schedule. If you've got to do stuff for your health, appointments, diagnostics, you can do those at any time. And if it's time sensitive, you should just do them regardless of what the stars are saying, right? But if you can schedule them in the first 3 weeks, you may have more clarity, more ease in accessing it, less trouble with how it's billed to insurance, just the kind of things that Mercury retrograde tends to bring up. You'll be free from that in the first 3 weeks. Also, if you have to see some new practitioners or, research information about people that can help you, then use that first 3 weeks to have, less cloudiness. Now, after the 21st, going back to old practitioners or old things that you did that helped you before may be more smooth. Okay, so the next series of transits that are very, very important this month are the Scorpio transits. Mars is there already, and Mars is a co-ruler to Scorpio, so it's moving through a sign that it knows. Mercury will get there pretty quickly. The Sun will get there as the month progresses, kind of around the 21st. A lot's going on around that time. And Venus will get there in November. Okay, so we've got this strong push. Oh, and Lilith is there already. Strong push for relationships and deep, intimate connections. Topics of power and collaboration and empowerment. Money and finances and merging. Resources and sharing them and accessing them. Those stories are going to be coming up. And this is especially poignant for Tauruses because it is your opposite sign. Taurus, Scorpio is a polarity, and your stuff versus everyone else's stuff or your shared stuff is going to be a huge topic at this time. The Scorpio energy lights up the Taurus Libra house. So you've got Libra aspect or Libra transits through the Sun, Venus, and Mercury and the new moon on the 21st. And then you've got the Scorpio transits highlighting the 7th house that is ruled by Libra. So, there's a lot of quest for balance and harmony and getting those scales even and aesthetics and, and Venus rules Libra. So the goddess is back here in this representation as well. So the second eclipse in the series was September 21st. And so in October, we're just 10 days out from having just had the second eclipse. So yes, that intensity is going to continue this month. It will start to fade though. As the month goes on, the chance for news and eclipse events are going to start to fade and things will be in an ongoing, progress, but it's not as active as the earlier part of the month. But you definitely will be seeing, these life-changing trajectory shifts, these opportunities, this breakthrough that, is of a lifetime, like a lifetime breakthrough. That's what the eclipses tend to bring. And a lot of times the news that is delivered is non-negotiable. So you get to decide just what you're going to do with the information, not with what's actually happened. So we have that happening. We also have around 16 aspects, not including with star goddess aspects, except Venus. Venus is in our traditional mapping here. So we've got at least 16 nuisance aspects littered throughout the month to just throw some little speed bumps along the way. But we do have a lot of sweet aspects this month as well, especially between October 8th and the 14th and between the 24th and the 30th. If you want to know more details about those sweet aspects and the ones to be most awareful and careful of, go to anniehelpsyou.com, put your name and email address in, get the welcome letter, and it will give you information on how you access that monthly sweet and salty date report. And then you get all of these other goodies as well. If you want to learn astrology with me to help other people and yourself, just your friends and family, or to do this to earn money, astrology is an astounding tool to help other people. It is highly monetizable. When people know that you can do this, they will want to pay you for it. I see it happen all the time with my students, my apprentices. So if you want to learn astrology with me, go to beastropro.com, beastropro.com. If you want to see what's up with all the outer planets changing signs and what that means for your personal chart, get my personalized outer planet transit report at anniebclarity.com. Annie, the letter B, clarity.com. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.